By my calculations, you're set to be in awe of the newest film releases coming your way this week, including the long-awaited sequel, The Accountant 2. Ben Affleck reprises his role as the lethal autistic operative Christian Wolf from the nearly 10-year-old movie by director Gavin O'Connor, who's also back to continue the story of Wolf as he's recruited to solve the murder of a former acquaintance. And this time he's bringing his more dangerous brother John Bernthal along for the ride. And with plenty of exciting thrills as well as a fun dynamic between the two leads, expect The Accountant 2 to add up to a fun time at the movies when it hits cinemas this Friday. And stay tuned for my review later on in the week. Also coming to cinemas is Until Dawn, the movie adaptation of the popular PlayStation horror game from Lights Out filmmaker David F. Sandberg. The Friend sees Naomi Watts inherit a lovable Great Dane from her late pal Bill Murray. Julie Keeps Quiet takes a look at a young tennis prodigy's personal dilemma when her coach is accused of inappropriate behaviour. The Ugly Stepsister is the warped new vision of a classic fairy tale that takes the gruesome body horror route. April tells the story of a nurse in Georgia living a double life as the provider of unsanctioned abortions. Cloud is a twisty and violent psychological thriller from Japanese auteur Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Treading Water tells the compassionate tale of a mentally ill ex-con spiraling into a pit of tragic obsession. And An Army of Women documents victims of assault filing a class-action lawsuit against authorities to bring about much-needed change. Meanwhile, showing at home this week is Havoc, director Gareth Evans' hardcore Netflix action thriller featuring Tom Hardy as a gruff cop thrust into a criminal underworld. Den of Thieves Pantera reunites Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. as cop and skilled thief respectively for an all-new European heist only on Prime Video. Ash is the terrifying sci-fi mindbender that's also coming to Prime and finds an amnesiac astronaut struggling to trust her supposed saviour. And available to rent or buy on digital platforms is The Thicket, a bleak western starring Peter Dinklage as a ruthless bounty hunter hired to rescue a young woman from a devious criminal. Finally, being re-released in cinemas this week is Pride and Prejudice, director Joe Wright's delightful take on the classic Jane Austen story, featuring an Oscar-nominated lead turn by Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Bennet, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary. Miss Congeniality, the hilarious comedy featuring Sandra Bullock as an FBI agent going undercover at a beauty pageant, is also marking its 25th anniversary. And Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith brings the darkest entry in the Skywalker saga back to the big screen for its own 20th anniversary. Visit the Film Feeder website to read even more about the films on this week's movie menu. But for now, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe for fresh menus every week, and I'll see you next time.